Alright then, for this course I have prepared a starter project where all the basic stuffs are imported, like the icons, the images we'll be using in this project, the Bootstrap CD and Google Fonts, because I don't want you to spend some time googling it and find a CDN and then import it. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, and this is a clean directory, because what npx create react app does, it gives you the boilerplate and it contains some of the redundant files like test files, which we don't need it at all. So that's why I have cleared the directory and there are just the specific files we need. Okay, so to download this you need to go to this repo. You will find the link in the description box. Then what you can do, you can go to code and you can either download it in zip format, or you can, if you have installed git in your machine, then you can use git clone. So I'll be doing git clone. So I have copied it and now I'll create a directory called mkdir. What should be the name? My portfolio, and then cd my portfolio. CD means change directory and mkdir means make directory. Okay, now here I will be using git clone and the URL. Okay guys, now let it clone. Okay, done. Now open the directory in your code editor. I'll be using VS Code and code dot. Okay, so it will open VS Code editor. Now at this point your project should not start, right? Like npm start, it should give you error. This is saying that you have not installed npm packages, right? So make sure you have installed node.js in your machine. You can check it via either using node, and you can check the version using node version. Sorry. Okay, and then what you will do simply npm install. Okay, make sure you are in the right directory, and if you see dir here, there is no file called package.json, right? So you need to go to the right directory, which is cd dev portfolio, and then if you write dir you will see package.json, and now you can safely install the packages like npm install. Npm install. Okay, let it install. Let's move to the project directory, which is this developer portfolio. Okay, so we have two folders here, one is public and one is source. And again guys, if you install it using, if you create an app, react app using create react app, you will see much more files here, which is redundant, like testing files. We don't need that. So that's why this is a clean directory, and there is this index.html. This is the only HTML file in our directory, and this is the Bootstrap CSS CDN. And I have imported it, and this title by default it should be something like React app or something like that. So I've changed it to portfolio, and this is the only element where all the component will be injected. Okay, let me show you this index.js, and then here. Okay, so you can see that index.css is imported here. So there is no file called app.css. I have deleted this, and index.css will be contain all the styling apart from Bootstrap. Okay, so React DOM.render. So this is the app component. This is a root component, and this is injected in this root ID. Okay, so now if I go to app component, you can again, I have cleared this file, and this is only saying that finally. Okay, so now if I see the assets folder, here contains all the icons we will be using and the project images. I'll be using customized icons, so that's why I'm using icons as static files. I prefer to use it as CDN, and CDN is content delivery network or content distribution network. Okay, so yeah, this is the Google font called Kausan script and Meriwether. These two will be using in our project and nothing else. Okay, so okay, installed successfully. Now at this point, if you run this project like npm start, it should open in a new browser. At first it takes some time, and then it React comes with hot reloading, and this will be much faster. Okay, so if you can see this, oh, finally it means you are ready to go. Now just once cross check it, if everything is working fine, I will go to app.js, and then you can write something like what p hello bro, and React comes with hot reloading. So look at this, this is reloading, and this is hot bro. Sorry, this is hello bro, hot bro. Okay, and now just check if CSS is working fine, and for this you will go to index.css, and here you can write something like body background color red. Okay, what the heck happened with CSS? Let's refresh. Okay, yeah, right. So make sure this is in small letter. Oh, it looks cute, right? Anyway, let's start. Let's move on to the component tree and see what we can do here. Okay, so you can see in the project, in the final deployed version, this is a sidebar and this is the main component, right? And then again from this main component, this is the navbar, and then this project section, this resume section and all. Okay, so we'll go step by step. And if I go to this component tree, this app is the root component, and from this app this is sidebar and this is main component, like highlighted in bold. Okay, so we'll first make these two component. Let's see. Okay, so first go to app.js, cause यहाँ से खेल शुरू होता है. Okay, so first remove this. Now first what we'll do, we'll go here, and you know guys, Bootstrap grid is divided into 12 columns per row, and so we'll be using three columns for this sidebar, and we'll be using 9 for this main component. So first make the layout. Okay, so yeah, you can deep.col, and I am using here emmet if you don't know, and deep.col 9, and this will give us 3 row and 9 row for each division. And now there is some content like sidebar, and for this let's say main. Okay, now I add some class so that we can demonstrate it, and in class naming we will be using BEM naming convention. You can check it, there are a lot of articles there. App sidebar, and this is app, and this is app main, what should be like main content. I'm very poor in naming, guys. I spend a lot of time on what name a variable. Okay, see if I go now here, just a second, let's style it. Index.css is dot oh fuck dot app sidebar, color let's say blue. Let's remove this background color from body. Okay, here not color guys, it's background color. Okay, and this app main content, let's see background color, what, blue highlight. And at this point, if you can watch this, just hot reload, there's no color. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, so you can see this uh, div contains 3 columns and one divs content 9 columns, right? But this is not in flex mode because this is not in like side by side. We want side by side. So what, in Bootstrap, if you want it in flex mode, you need to wrap it inside a container, and again div dot container, and I'm using emmet here, so div dot row. You need to wrap it inside a container and row, and then now it should be okay. Now guys, again you can use either container and fluid container. What's the difference between container and fluid container is container gives you some paddings in left and right, but container fluid will not give you that. So if I use container fluid, look at this. Okay, so I'll not go deep in this CSS, but I will try to explain it. Okay, this is good, this is good. Now at this point I want a full height. Okay, so if I go to this row, well, this is the wrapper, and if I go to CSS, first of all let me close this, close this, close this, to be बंद हो जा बस. Okay, and index.css, let it be here. Okay, this is cool. Now what I want the row should have an height of that vertical height. 100 vertical height means full screen. I want 90 vertical height. Now okay, so we are getting the shape, right? Now I want some padding from the top, and from the top, so row is wrapped by container, so if I can give this container padding top 50 pixel, it should give it a padding. Okay, that's all, that's good. Okay, so now anyway, let's give this a give this body a gradient background color. And for gradient background color, you can check a website called yes, this UI gradient. And here you can find beautiful gradient combination, and what we will be using is something like this, rainbow blue. Okay, so just copy it and go to background color, and sorry, background not color, it should be background image, linear gradient, and this one, and in this color. Okay, and so we got the gradient color. And but if you want to give it a direction, you can use to like to the direction, to right, bottom, and comma, and it will change the direction. Okay, so you can see this bug here. You can fix this using background attachment here. Okay, it's gone. Now I need a slight gap between these two containers, right? So we'll be using Bootstrap right now. Like we'll take the advantage of Bootstrap. So this column 3 right here from Bootstrap comes with a padding 15 pixel in each side. So if we can wrap it, if we can put a div inside it, div dot what should be that class name again, guys? I don't know what should be the class name. App sidebar, let's say app sidebar, and I don't want this thing here, and just give this a sidebar. Okay, now look at this. I've got the the height is gone, but I got the gap here. You can do this here. You can fix this using height 100%. Let's see if it works or not. Yeah, now change the color to white. Background color has FFF. This is the hex value of white. What the heck, bro? What? Yeah, okay, this is good. I just give it a slight border radius so that it looks cool, and the border radius should be what, like 20 pixel will be good. Border radius 20 pixel, and the same thing if I copy here, border radius 20 pixel. Okay, this looks cool, and gives it a slight padding. For padding I'll be giving something like 25 pixel from top and 15 pixel on left to right. Okay, and I'll again copy this thing here. Anyway, okay, so at this point our project is not responsive. Like if you can see this, now look at this. At this point this is not responsive, so in order to make it responsive we can use Bootstrap here. And what we can do column large 3, so that it only takes 3 columns in large screen, and below that it will take the full screen. Okay, so at this point if I test the responsiveness, look at this. There we need a little bit margin in between these, but we will do that later. But right now this is responsive. Okay, so let's implement the component folder components. Okay, and then all the components will be named with the capital letter, and component name starts with a capital letter. So in this case this is sidebar.js. Let's make this component. Do not allow, cancel, bro. Okay, so yeah, to make a component I am using a little snippet here which is called, I don't know what is the name of the snippet, but it gives me the boilerplate here. Anyway, I can show you how to do this, like import React from React and const sidebar just return any JSX you need. Guys, this is not HTML, by the way. This is JSX. This is HTML inside JavaScript. And just export default React, default sidebar, sorry. Cool. Now if I say sidebar, now if just test it using, what the fuck, sidebar, and then you import it here, and again I am using a extension here called auto import. Let's do use it, because you don't want to waste time on debugging it, why this is not importing, what's the bugs here, cause अगर यही सब करते रह जाओगे तो कोड कब करोगे. Import from dot slash this component slash sidebar, and from this, as this is default input, so I can use sidebar. So from next time I'll be using this little extension. Okay, so at this point I should be okay. So this component is injected here, and I'll, from the next video, I'll work on this sidebar, and then I'll move on this main component. And I think there needs a little box shadow. Yeah, so give it a box shadow. Box shadow, it's a 10 pixel, and just give it a black box shadow, and then I go do this. Yeah, it looks cool. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you are facing any problem, you can either comment it or see the GitHub code if anything goes wrong with your code. This is fairly simple stuff. I don't think anything wrong with this. Yeah, that's all for this. Bye.